Hey guys, how we doing? Mac Blogs here, aka Ian. Now, this is a bit different to usual videos that I do. Obviously I do vlogs, etc. However, I wanted to get some information to you guys in regards to Uber and using Uber in Orlando. Now, I'm not sponsored by Uber or anything like that at all. I don't have any favourites. There's no favouritism here. It's purely based on my experience from my recent trip and vlog series to Orlando, where I went this year, 2022, March into April, so end of March into April, just for over a week, roughly about 7 days, and yeah, I didn't drive. I used Uber, of course, like we're going to discuss in a moment, and also the free transport that Universal Studios Florida, Universal Orlando Resort offers when you stay on site. So in overall context, just to give you an idea, if you haven't watched my vlog series, just make sure you go and check that out after this video if you want to. However, just to give you some context in this video, I stayed at Universal's Endless Summer Resort, the Dockside Inn and Suite side. So there's two sides, so you have the surf side and you have the dockside. I was at the dockside, and I mainly used the Uber 8 times. So I used Uber 8 times. I've took some notes as well, so in total, the totals that I spent, I haven't included tips because tips is down to yourselves. I did tip on every trip that I went on, depending on how the trip went, etc. And the costs I'm going to give you do not include the tips. So this is the total before tips. So I went to Universal Orlando, like I said, stayed on site. I made 8 trips in total using Uber, and the total for all the 8 trips in total was $120.39. So for all those 8 trips, for me, it's just a more relaxing way of travelling, because you're not sitting in traffic, you're not having to worry about fuel. You can just sit and relax and go to journey. And again, this is just my experience and my opinion. There is other apps, like ride apps you can use, like Uber, like Lyft. There's nothing stopping you using local taxis like Mohr's, for example, as well. But just for me, for the pure convenience, I used Uber. I think you get a discount as well when you download Uber for the first time. I'm not going to refer you or any links or anything at all. I'm not looking for any kickbacks at all. I'm just giving all the information out there, and hopefully you find it useful. So I'll give you some examples and break down some of the trips, just to give you an idea of where I was and where I went to, and hopefully it helps. So like I say, if I look to the side, I've taken some notes just to refer to. So the first trip I had was the surprise trip to my surprise day to my family. So if you've watched my vlog series from March to April, I surprised my family in Orlando. So I flew over the day before they were due to arrive. I arrived at my resort, my hotel, stayed overnight, got an Uber, went back to the airport and surprised my family. So the cost of that trip was $25.92. So that's, to me, it's a one-off cost, I know, but in all honesty, you could have got it cheaper, you could have got it more expensive. It's all to do with supply and demand at that time, and to me, that was good value. So that was $25.92. I then got free transfer with my family to their resort. I spent some time with them after surprising them at the airport. They stayed at Wilderness Lodge Resort at Walt Disney World's Wilderness Lodge Resort. I spent some time with them, but I then headed back through to Universal on Universal Boulevard, just off International Drive, to go back to Endless Summer Resort where I was staying. and that cost me $24.96. So from Disney's Wilderness Lodge to Universal Orlando's resort that I was staying at, that's how much it cost me. So we're roughly at $50 already with 2 trips, but that they are a long distance. To be fair, there's a fair distance involved with that, and the times as well. So there was a little bit of peak times for both of them. However, again, that's what I paid. And then the next time I went to use Uber was when I went to, again I'm referring a lot to the videos because I know not all of you have watched those videos yet, but I went from Dockside, I went from my resort to Icon Park, which isn't far to be honest with you, but it's not really, you can walk it, but with Orlando being a very, very walking holiday, very much so a walking holiday, if you're into theme parks like I am, you'll be walking all the time. So little break from walking, got an Uber, and that was, to be exact, was $8.96. So that was one way before tip. So $8.96 to get from Dockside, Universal Studios, Universal Orlando's hotel, resort hotel, to International Drive, Icon Park. So I was dropped off at the big wheel. So Icon Park is where you see the big wheel, and where I went to Ripley's, believe it or not. I went on the big wheel, of course, as well. So if you've seen that video, that was my trip to there. I then got back from Icon Park back to my hotel again from the same place, so just reverse again, and it was the exact same price, $8.96. After that, I went to catch up with my family a few days later again. I went to Disneyland. I'm not sure if many of you know about it or not. I'm sure a lot of you do. So Disneyland, I'm not too sure. I asked the driver, the Uber driver, how to pronounce it, but I think he said it was Disneyland. That was, again, $8.96 exact. Same as the previous 2 trips that I used to go to Icon Park. It was the same for Disneyland, and that was just a catch. I never made any videos on that, any vlogs on that. That was actually after the Volcano Bay. Yeah, that was a Volcano Bay day. Was that the last day I had? I think it was. I think it was the last day. Was it the last day? Can't remember. I think it was. So it was that long ago. I should have done this video closer to the time. However, I've just been really busy. But yeah, that was a great day catching up, a great night catching up with family again. And after Disneyland, I used Uber with some of my family over to International Drive to get some food, and that was, where are we, from my notes, that was $9.97. So from Disneyland to practically Icon Park again, just round the corner next to Icon Park, where we went for some food, that was $9.97. I then left my family that night from the restaurant at International Drive, again not far from Icon like I say, and went back to my hotel Dockside in Suites, and that was again $8.96. So again, great price. I mean, you can't complain. There's no hassle. There was no long waits. The longest I waited was probably 10-15 minutes. And the only reason I waited that long was because it was just thunder and storm, rain everywhere. Everyone's trying to get into an Uber, into a taxi, and people just waiting longer to get one, to get from A to B, so they're not walking or having to wait, or mainly walking through the weather, the heavy rain that Florida has in short space of time. But yeah, that was how much I spent for that. Again, not much. And then my last trip, the 8th trip that I took, was from Dockside, from the resort back to the airport. Sadly, that was back to Orlando International Airport, MCO Airport, and that was $23.70. Now, if you watched my vlogs, if you watched the series, I did have a package with Virgin Holidays for the transfer back to the airport. However, it didn't work out on my November vlog, where they didn't pick me up. They forgot to pick me up from Cabana Bay when I stayed at Cabana Bay in November. They did not come and pick me up, but they might have, but I waited roughly about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and I wasn't waiting any longer because I start to panic and I want to be at the airport just in case of any issues with security. So it was far too long to wait, in my opinion, and just guess if they were coming, because there was no rep at the hotel, no Virgin rep, Holidays rep. So I got an Uber back then, and I didn't want to do the same again this time, because this occasion in March when I arrived, the Virgin Holidays didn't take me from, I paid for it, like if you've watched the vlog, the travel day vlog, when I went to the Virgin Holiday rep, they said they didn't have any transfers available. There was a mix-up. Even though I had paid for it, I was then made to go to Mohr's and pay Mohr's like $50 odd again to get to Dockside. So bit of a mess. I don't think I'll be paying or selecting that package before, because I haven't had any consistency either going or coming back. So that's why I used Uber this time, to go from Dockside back again to Universal, back to Orlando MCO Airport, and that was $23.70. For peace of mind, yeah, I'm happy to pay that. That's not a lot to make sure you get there, and again, it's just pure convenience. You get the convenience, you're not waiting, you get picked up and you get dropped off. That's what you're looking for. That's the basics. You're safe, you're secure. I'm travelling solo. I was travelling myself, albeit I did meet my family a few occasions, but mainly travelling solo, and I was feeling safe. So there was no issues there. And just to repeat, the total for all those trips was $120.39. So, as I said, I'm not sponsored by Uber or anything like that. It's just to give you some information, because when I look at all some of the forums and some of the comments and some of the information out there, it'd be good to kind of get that information to you guys if you're looking for it. So hopefully that has helped. If you have any questions, then leave them down in the comments below. I'll try and answer them. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you watch the previous videos, previous vlogs from Orlando. Hopefully you enjoy them. If you do enjoy them, if you enjoy my content that I do, make sure you subscribe. You like this video, like all my other videos if you can, and spread the word. Just share the video, let people know that there is other options out there other than driving in Mohr's and iShuttle as well, but we won't touch on that on this video, maybe future videos, but there is other options out there. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like I say, thank you for watching. I'm Mike Blogs, aka Ian, and if you want to follow me, check in the description box down below. So anyway, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'll see you then. Bye bye.